after. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I can only live my life one way. All I wanna do every day is I just wanna smoke, drink, and love my girl to some reggae. I call her on the phone, tell her I'm coming on something ready. I got some weed and I'm on the move.
Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Very shortly, we are going to be live on YouTube. And all I would say is just to all of you, when we do go live, we are live in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm from a place called Wolverhampton in England, not known for its Jamaican energy. So it would be amazing if every single person we welcome onto the stage, we bring the proper applause and the proper respect. I'm going to obviously introduce Talia in just a second, but I can't go without saying we've got the 4th and 5th fastest men of all time somewhere. I saw them arrive. Do we have Mr. Gatlin and Mr. Powell in the house? Are they here? I saw them arrive. We're going to give them an applause. Asafa has his own statue, so you know you're big time when you've got 97 sub-10 second 100 meters and you have a statue. But very shortly, we're going to hit this price side. And before we do, generally, we are excited about this.
We are excited. I'm excited to be here. I think there's a lot of energy in the room, so let's get this thing started.
Let's absolutely do it. So this can be live on YouTube. We're going to wait for Big Dunk in the cap to give us the countdown of destiny, and then we're going to kick off.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, hello and welcome to Jamaica, welcome to Kingston and welcome to the first ever press conference of the Grand Slam track. This is a revolutionary format which will see the fastest humans on planet Earth do battle regularly and double up whilst they're doing it. We could not be any more excited. I'm delighted to be joined by Talia Brooks. Talia, this is going to be an incredible event. For the last 3 days, I've eaten ackee and saltfish, jerk chicken, brown stew chicken, curry goat. What have you been up to?
I've been eating a little bit, but I've also had to train, so it's been a busy time, but I'm excited for this thing to kick off and get started.
Absolutely right, and just to be absolutely clear, so Talia Brooks started high school as a very, very high-level basketball player, then in college, transitioned to track and field, represented USA in the heptathlon in 2 World Championships at the Paris Olympics. Then you've just come back from China at the World Indoors, and what happened?
I got bronze. I was bronze in the pentathlon.
Yes. your first ever global medal. Amazing.
Thank you. And I'm joined by Ratsy. This is just Ratsy.
Just me. That's what I'm. That's my
That's all he
CV.
does.
Single name. That is it.
That is it. No, Ratsy has been in media for over 12 years. He's served on all 5 of the core channels in the UK. He's been on World Champs, Olympics, anything that has happened, he's been there.
I hope
we're
so.
in good company.
Absolutely right. Genuinely couldn't be more excited about this. Now, our first guest, the rule is an awful lot of noise. Now, this idea started as an inception, a tiny seed, and it's grown into what we've seen here. Tomorrow, it's going to kick off. 12 days eventually, 4 Grand Slam events kicking off in Kingston. We can't wait to do it. So let's kick this off in style by welcoming a man who is a 4 times Olympic champion, an 8 times world champion, 2 events he had world records in. He might be born in 1967, but he is still 30 years old. Give it up for MJ Michael Johnson.
Our team is excited. The Grand Slam track team has been working on this for over a year, and tomorrow it finally gets started, so we couldn't be more excited. So I'm just going to make a couple of remarks before you guys get to talk to the real stars of the show, which is the athletes. These athletes are excited because they get the opportunity to compete against their rivals. It's what they've always wanted. The fans are excited because it's what they've always wanted. They've always wanted to see the athletes race against their rivals more often. So where we sit as Grand Slam track is simply in the position of just connecting the athletes who want to race against their rivals to the fans who want to see them race. That's our role. It's simple. We just sit in the middle and put it together. We're trying to present it, as you can see here, in a way that is modern, that's fresh, and that is exciting. That's what these athletes deserve, and it's what fans have wanted. So what you're going to see tomorrow is compelling competition. You're going to see fast races. You're going to see photo finishes. You're not going to see the same people winning Grand Slam track races over and over. They all hope they will, but it's going to be different people winning these races because they are truly the fastest people in the world. We've added to this concept now that they're actually going to race twice. You're going to have half of the field racing in their primary event against other people who it's their secondary event, and vice versa when they go back to the next race. So this is exactly what we want, this kind of excitement. What this has done is you look on social media and you will see that what track fans are now talking about is not about records, not about who's going to break a world record. They're talking about who's going to win. Everybody here has a chance to win. Everybody here is capable of winning. And what makes this great is only one person gets to win. And we get to see it. We get to witness it. And that's what we want, right? So I'm only going to say a couple of more words, and then I'm going to turn it over so you guys can talk to them because they are truly the real stars of the show. But I will end with this. So there's been a lot of talk about why Grand Slam track, what about this, and where does it fit, and television broadcast deals. By the way, we are broadcast in 189 countries, right? So we are elevating this sport, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But there's been enough talk about that. Now it's time for racing. So, the story here is, long sprints, who's going to win? Short hurdles, who's going to win? Long distance, who's going to win? Short distance, who's going to win? This is about who's going to win. We are here. Everybody's here. We got the biggest prize money in the sport. We got 48 of the top athletes in the world signed to our league. We got another 48 challengers. They are some of the fastest people on the planet. So it's about the racing. That's what we need to be talking about. So that's it for me. I will turn it back over to Razi and Talia, and you guys get to talk to the racers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. And just kicking things off straight away, so one of the most fascinating aspects of this will be the double element of this. We really are going to expose weaknesses specifically and fascinatingly in the hurdles. We know how good these athletes are over barriers, but what's their flat speed going to be like? We're not just going to see it, we're going to see them competing. And as MJ said, this isn't about times, this is about positions. It's going to be absolutely terrific. So without further ado, we have three of the long hurdlers. So will you please give it up for Michelle Clayton, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, and Delilah Mohammed. Please take a seat. Now we're going to get straight into this one here because for me, possibly the most exciting of all the events is going to be the one-lap hurdles, doing your thing. And Sydney, I'll come to yourself first because you were the very first athlete to sign up to Grand Slam track. It was just the seed of an idea and you committed to it. What was it about the format that you said, I've got to be part of that?
Yeah, I think just the opportunity to create a space for us to truly become professionalized, and give the opportunity to show kind of the range of the athletes. You know, you get to see us in the hurdles, but just having this dual side of it, of getting the fun opportunity to sprint is also just really exciting, I think. It gets to show the whole athlete.
It's really exciting, it's really unknown. And Michelle, there's also a lot of cash money on the line as well, £100,000 and the flat element. It's a big thing for a lot of athletes who are £100,000. They may not have necessarily earned that in a season. They can now get it in one weekend.
Pounds is more than dollars.
Excuse me. I know. It's hard out here right now, MJ. We are talking US dollars, not pound. What pound sterling? Maybe next season, who knows? But it's a lot of money.
Well, I think $100,000 is the most we have ever gotten paid. We have ever gotten.
If it was a batter, you'd be all good.
Hello?
How's that?
Is it good?
We are back in the game.
Yes. So $100,000 we've never gotten unless you were Dalilia and you broke the world record. That's the only time. That's the only time we got $100,000 in the hurdles or in any event at once. So for it to be 4 slams, $100,000 to win, that is truly amazing. And I'm looking forward just to competing and see where I get from there.
Absolutely right. You spoke about Delilah. Delilah, you're the challenger in this. The two races are either side of you. But let's talk about the 4 hurdles generally, because it's really been you that's precipitated this new birth of women's 4 hurdles. Olympic champion, world record holder, and since then it's gone on to amazing things. When you look back, are you proud of what you've accomplished? Because you're basically a legend competing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at a young age, you never know where it's going to take you. I think I just always had that little something that I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to push those boundaries and push forward. I remember being that even as little as 8 years old. Like, I didn't know where it was going, but I just knew I had to be there. So yeah, to look back at my career now and still be competing it's quite the journey. I'm very proud of it.
If you look back to 2007, you get World Youth Gold. Nearly 20 years on, you are somehow still doing your thing at 35 years young. How many more seasons can we look forward to seeing you do your thing?
I'm thinking to the next one, to the next Olympics. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be it for me this year. I'm definitely going to, I think this will be it. I haven't really made an announcement or publicly known, but yeah, I'm thinking one and done.
Wow, so just to be absolutely clear, this could very plausibly be your last ever season as a professional track athlete.
Yes.
Well, that deserves a round of applause. And the amazing thing is, we're going to get to see you do battle 8 races in various locations, kicking off at Kingston. And Sydney, just a word for this lady to your right here, because she really set the bar.
100%. I mean, Delilah, you truly did just change the game for all of us, and I think just seeing you break that world record after so long of it being there, it inspired all of us. And so it's truly because of just the amazing talent you had that we are where we are now.
Well, thank you, and I truly, truly appreciate that, both of you.
Now, as we get down to the meat and gravy, as we'd say in the UK, of the flat element of this challenge, how on earth, as a hurdler, where you're used to rhythm, you're used to strides, are you going to approach the flat?
I was just talking to my coach about this. I was saying the hurdles is such a rhythm race, and to run a flat event, it's totally different. I rarely ever do it, but I like challenges, so I'm going to take this one on head on. I'm just going to go out there, and I'm just going to run.
Well, we want to see you run. And Sydney, you're used to winning, and used to winning by big margins. All of a sudden now, there's a real question mark as to, first of all, to win the slam, you don't necessarily need to win both races, but you obviously want to win. You're, at this point in the season, you might train through an event like this, but people are training for this, but there's a big question mark.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it, is you're going to see different people in different parts of their season. Obviously going to go out there and give the best effort possible, but at the end of the day, yeah, everybody has to make the decision what's best for them in the season and through the career, and I just want to come away from this healthy and just get the experience of the first slam.
And Michelle, just finally with yourself, you know what the Jamaican atmosphere is going to be like in the national stadium. Can you describe it to us? Because I've seen the national trials before, the high school championship that happened a few days ago, the whistles, the horns, it's going to be special.
It normally is special. So tomorrow, there will be a lot of people, hopefully. I pray there will be millions of people out there just cheering with those loud horns that we're used to. And I'm just looking forward to the atmosphere. Competing at home is always amazing. And with Jamaicans, they cheer for every single body. So it's not going to feel like I'm the only person on the track. They're going to welcome Sid, they're going to welcome Dalila. So the atmosphere is going to be amazing.
And Dalila, we've spoken obviously about this being your last season, but you are not coming here to make up numbers. You're coming here to do well. You're coming here to get paid.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm just so excited to be here. I think it's just such a blessing to have something like this. And all the times that I've been competing, this has not obviously existed. So just to kind of be in something new and to kind of be at the start of it, at the end of my career, is just absolutely amazing. So definitely going out there to give it my all for now and the entire season.
Well, ladies, thank you very much for your words. Once again, can we give it up for Michelle, Dalila, and for Sydney? Well, let me take your seats, ladies, and then I'm going to hand over to Talia to bring out the next group of guys.
Okay, guys, next up, we are going to hear from the men's short sprints. We're going to have Oblique Seville, Zarnell Hughes, Fred Curley, and Kidney Benerick. Can we welcome those guys? Okay, Oblique, we're going to start with you. You are competing at home. What does it mean to start this inaugural season in Kingston?
Well, it's an excellent feeling to compete at this time of the year because to think about it, the competition is great because as you can see, these are top athletes that I'm going to compete against. So it's actually a good feeling in front of my Jamaican fans, and I think something special is going to happen.
And speaking of being in front of Jamaican fans, Zarnell, you are a proud Brit, but you have some Jamaican roots. Does that give you an edge? Are there going to be people in the stands cheering and watching for you? How do you feel about competing here?
I've been competing in Jamaica for quite some time. I definitely do have a fan base here. I also have family here as well that will be there. My son wants to be there, but he can't be there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being out there. Jamaica is always an exciting place to compete. Excellent crowd. We have a great lineup. Going to be there in the 100 and the 200 as well. So it's going to be a cracker, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Perfect. And Fred, 6 months ago, you signed on to be a racer for Grand Slam. Why were you willing to go in so early? Why were you calling your shot like that?
Get paid. Get paid.
That's all we got. Fred is about his money, and we know that. Kenny, everyone on this stage has opened up their season. I'm sure you've seen them race. What are your thoughts about what you've seen so far, and what can we expect from you?
I mean, yeah, they opened up, and I mean, it's early season, but all I can say is I ain't worried. I focus on myself, my technique, my blocks and all that. They're better than ever, and I'm expecting the competition to be good tomorrow and Saturday, but, you know, I'm here on a mission, and it's just to dominate.
And a question for the group, what has to go right for each of y'all to win this slam? Some of you guys are 100-meter specialists, some of you dabble in both, so we might be stretching it out for a few, but what has to go right? Let's start with Fred.
I'm a 400 runner that took over the 100 and 200.
Period.
For me, I think it's going to be execution and just holding your own composure. At the end of the day, as we all mentioned earlier, it's early in the season. We're finding our legs and we're preparing for the championship later down in the year. So for us, it's just getting through the rounds, getting through healthy, and executing what we've been practicing in training, and that's going to set us up nicely for the season.
Same for me. I mean, just focus on my execution, and if I do that, then I should be good.
And Oblique, you are a 100-meter specialist. We're excited to see you run the 200. How do you feel about going that extra distance?
It's been a while since I would run 200 like for the past few years, so I'm very excited to run the 200 meters because I had problems running the 200, but now I get the opportunity to run the 200, so I'm very happy.
Let's give it up for our men's short sprint. Next up, we are going to bring up our women's long sprints. We've got Nikisha Price, Alexis Holmes, Gabby Thomas, and Sawa Eid Nasser. And their lady Paulina. No, you can sit there. Just the two of us?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Alexis, we are going to kick it off to you. You have been in the last major championships. You've been in the spotlight. How have those moments prepared you to race against some of the best 400-meter runners in the world?
Yeah, I think those races have definitely helped me a lot, given me the confidence to come into these races against these extremely talented women. So I'm really looking forward to getting more opportunities to race against them leading up to the big competitions.
Mayor Lady, you are a star in the Dominican Republic. How much pride does it give you to bring that here to Kingston?
Eres una estrella en la República Dominicana. ¿Cuánto tiempo te da representar tu país aquí en Jamaica durante el evento de la gala aquí de Grand Slam?
Bueno, súper orgullosa de poder representar mi país en todos los países y de verdad que en República Dominicana muchas jóvenes se reflejan en mí lo que yo hago día a día.
Honestly, I'm always thankful to represent my country of the Dominican Republic.
And I also want to be, I'll start that over. I've always been very thankful to represent my country, the Dominican Republic, and I'm also very thankful to have the opportunity to be a representation and an idol to the upcoming youth at the Dominican Republic.
Gabby, we were expecting to see you in the short sprints. What made you make the decision to join the long sprints for this slam?
I mean, it was actually a very tough decision for me to make. And I think I'm doing the long sprints because it's an opportunity for me to compete with the greatest. I mean, I have two of the greatest 400-meter runners in track and field right now to compete against. And I think it'll be just great preparation for me, great practice. I think a lot of people do see me as a 400-meter sprinter, so I'm going to train for it and see what happens.
You also have Jamaican heritage, and you mentioned that there would be family members watching you. Does this feel like a home meet?
It does. I do have a lot of people showing up for me here on the island, and obviously the fan base is incredible. I mean, they do cheer for all of us, but I do feel like it's home here. My dad, my grandpa, and all of my cousins and aunts will be at the meet cheering me on, so I can't wait.
Alexis, you are coming off an incredible performance in China. Alexis was the silver medalist, as well as the gold medalist in the 4x4. How has that given you momentum going into the outdoor season?
Yeah, I think it definitely gives me a little bit of momentum. Indoor season is always kind of tricky as a pro because it breaks up your training a lot, but I'm looking forward to outdoor season and getting more opportunities to run.
Mayor Lady, how has your training changed to implement a 200? We have not seen very many 200s from you, so how has that changed your training?
Marilide, normalmente no compites en los 200 metros. ¿Cómo has cambiado tu entrenamiento para los 200 metros?
Bueno, aparte de que yo corría 100 y 200.
I think I know, how
these guys are as well, but yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think I'm the best racer in the world, and I think I proved that in Paris. So I'm excited to race.
Immediately a smile from Josh. We're going to come to him in just a second off the back of that. But Yared, so with yourself, you are surrounded by 141 800-meter runners. How on earth do you run this event? Tactically, what will you do in the 15?
Yeah, I think the 15 being first really in Kingston is kind of feel like good for me, just because I feel like for the 800 I really want to be warmed up and ready to go. But for the 1500, I know how to run like fast and tactical, and like run it in a way that I feel like is gonna turn out the best for me. And so I'm gonna do that. Keep it not necessarily a secret, but a little bit of a secret until tomorrow or Saturday. But I think I can definitely run a good 800 if I'm given the chance to do so. So, yeah.
The strategy side of this is fascinating. So, Marco, you obviously saw Josh there. He smiled as soon as Cole said he's the best racer in the world. Do you have any advice for him about how to run an 800 meters?
To Josh or Kurt or Cole?
To anyone that isn't perhaps an 800 specialist.
Honestly, I think they do know how to run the 800. Now, if it ends up being fast, we'll start to see the big difference between the 800 and the 15 guys, and I think it's the same thing at the 15. If it's a slow race, I believe us 800 guys can kick it with them, but really depends on the pace. I think there's levels to it, and once you reach those 143, 142 range, I think it'll be the separating line.
There is so much effort in this. Josh, do you have any advice for Marco about how to run a 15?
No. I think for us, like I said before, our 800 PBs don't look great on paper, but I think 800 is a skill. I think it's something that you build into throughout the season. It's something that I personally haven't done a lot of 800s throughout the year, and that's a big reason. Another reason why I want to sign up for this. I think it can help with 15 long term in the season, especially towards the end of the season. But myself, I'm ready. I'm ready to run a fast 8. I'm ready to run a fast 15, and I've been running British champs for 10 years. It's always windy, it's always no pacers, and it's always man-to-man. So I'm very excited to get back to that, and we have another Brit in the field, so I think we're going to have a good time out of it.
And obviously that's in the future. The present is Grand Slam track. You were the first male to sign up to it. Again, much like Sydney, when it was very much just a seed of an idea. What was it about the format that you just said, I love the sound of this, I've got to be part of it?
I think the biggest thing for me was kind of who this was all surrounded by, who was signed up. Obviously, Sydney signed up as she is the biggest athlete of our generation, if not in World Athletics history. So, when you've got that, you've got MJ leading up, a great team around him, and Cal sold it. It was one of those things where you can go and run on the biggest platform that this sport has to offer and show your skills. And they didn't even need to show me the prize money at that point. It was a sold deal. So I think it's something I believe in. I'm here to race the best athletes in the world, and it's one of our things. We're going to be in these 4 places. If you want to come race us, come try and try and steal that money off us.
Cole, in terms of fatigue going into this, starting with the 15 and having the 800 afterwards, does that favour the 1500 specialist for you?
Yeah, I think all the 15 guys would probably agree that I think in the 15 there's a larger, it's a longer race, so it's a bigger chance of creating separation and breaking guys that aren't 1500 meter specialists. 800, like what Marco said, if it's a slow race, you have 100 meters to break that open. So I think as the 1500, as a 1500 specialist, I think it favors us a little bit, but obviously I like that.
Marco, what can we expect from your pace when you get taken out of that 800 zone? Do you trust your endurance to last that at the level that these guys are going to take you to?
Absolutely. I'm no stranger to running the 1500. I know what that feels like. Now, in a fast race, what will that look like? I'm not exactly sure, but I trust in my coach's training, and I believe that I'm where I need to be to compete with the best in a different event. And I know the conditions may not be ideal for fast races, so I think that does work in my favor incredibly.
And to that point, Yared, is granted fast race, slow race, it actually doesn't matter, it's positions. And what makes this unreal is often you can throw a blanket over the 800 and 1500. There is nothing separating the entire field, which kind of means challenger or racer, Olympic champion or not, if you are in the mix, you are in the running to do very well.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the 1500 in general, and to extent that the 800 as well. I feel like it always kind of boils down to just, at least a couple people, if not a lot of people, kind of coming down the line, and that's especially true for races that don't get paced a lot of the time, like championships. I think a lot of the time that's kind of when you see the most fun 1500s and the most dramatic finishes.
And Josh, is there an element of you are representing Team 1500 in this? In that, do you actually want to see the 1500 guys do better than the 8s? Or is it purely about the Josh Kerr show?
What do you think? I'm weird. No, I think I don't view myself as a 1500 meter runner in this event. I'm a middle distance runner, and I'm showing why I'm the most dominant middle distance runner in the world right now. That's why we're here. If you view yourself as a 15 or an 800, then that's kind of selling yourself short already. But I think I run 800 British champs each year, so I can claim an 800 title. But I'm just excited to go out there and compete. Middle distance is middle distance, and I think instincts are going to come in, and experience is going to come in, and I think I've got all of those things.
So Cole, you win Grand Slam track, you win it in Kingston, you win it in LA, you win it in Philadelphia, you win it in whichever the one I missed out there. What would it mean to get that title?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most interesting things that's, I think, I'm expecting to see as this progresses, is the prestige that comes with that. I mean, already it's like, obviously there's the world champs and there's, the Olympics, and those have their own prestige, but, we don't really have anything like this, so it's going to be, set it every way you can. It's one of a kind, and I think after we do at least one of these, definitely by the end of this season of Grand Slams, it's going to be its own thing.
And Marco, just finally, I mentioned it with the ladies earlier, is that at this point in the season, people will be training through an event. But with so much on the line, this is massive. And then you get to make an adjustment in 2 weeks' time for Miami. So I wonder how much of an adjustment there'll be, and also how much of your training is actually focused on this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how it works. I think that time in between each Grand Slam event will allow us to make adjustments that we need to. I know we're all of us athletes are at different points in training, but none of that really matters. It's who crosses the line first. So that's my favorite thing about it. It just comes down to competing at the end, regardless if you've touched speed yet or if you're in a heavy base period of training. So it's just all about the competition, and we'll make the adjustments once this meet is over.
Well said. One final question to each of you going down the line. I know if I said who's going to win this, you'll all say yourself. So Cole, I'll start with yourself. Who's going to come second?
I'll say Josh.
I'll say Marco.
I'm going to say Cole.
Oh! Go on, Marco, finish it off.
I gotta say Josh.
This is why this is going to be so unbelievably exciting. There's a reason why we had to have these lads up here once more. Could you please give it up for Marco, for Yo, for Josh, and for Cole? Yes, we'll let you take thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your words. Great to talk to you all. And it's really good to talk to properly passionate racers, challengers, everything in between. We've got a number of challengers who are here. Now that we are live on YouTube, I thought we'd just mention once again that we do have Justin Gatlin and Asafa Powell in the house, the 4th and 5th fastest men of all time. They had to be here. Such is the pull of this event. We are right on the precipice of history. Tomorrow will begin day 1 of the first ever Grand Slam track. It all kicks off at 5 o'clock for the pre-show on Peacock, that is local time, and then at 6 o'clock rather, will be where it goes global. That's local time. 7 p.m. will be Eastern time, and make sure whatever you do, for all the details, you check grandslamtrack.com for everything you need to know. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for your company. The way it's going to work here is we're going to allow a number of the media to get to know some of the athletes a little bit closer. So if you stay seated, we'll give you all the updates you need to know. But as for us here, thank you very much, Kingston. Have a very good evening and roll on Friday.